Greetings and welcome to another excellent chess game. This one is primed to show you how to play positionally and to show you what happens when you reach a position where you don't know what to do, or you might not know what to do if you haven't studied positional chess. So let's get to it. All right, I'm playing white. Make sure you tell your friends because they're going to want to see this. All right. This is a typical double queen pawn game. E3, I'm just going to play bishop d3, not get fancy, just be solid. And there you go. Now, one of the things black can do is play bishop to g4, and he would like to do that after white plays knight f3. So that's why h3 is played. There's a specific reason for this. Now, black wants to play pawn to e5, even after knight f3. It would just play, queen c7 and then e5. So we're going to stop that with f4. It's not even an option. c5, his threat is, what's he trying to do to me? My dad's rule number 2, c4. So we play c3. We want to keep this bishop on this d3 diagonal. We take back with the e pawn to unlock the bishop. This move is designed to stop knight e4. Knight gf3, we're going to play knight to e5. Then we're going to castle, which is all good. So he's trying to kick me with f6. So I'm going to mess with him and get a free move out of it. Threaten to checkmate on his h7. He goes back. I go to f3. Now, the last time he played knight fd7, my queen was on d1. He plays knight fd7, so I've gained a move out of this whole combo. Not a big deal, but hey, I'll take it. Got one free move, queen to f3, which is a good move in this formation. And that's the key. This is a known attack opening that I play. It's not complicated, but you know the themes, or at least I know the themes, so I know places where I do want my pieces to be and where I don't. All right, so he plays f6. I knew that when I played g4, I couldn't retreat my knight. I would just capture him, no problems. And now I'm going to facilitate. We have a semi-open e file, so let's put the rooks there. Now this is an advanced move. You don't see that often. Knight to f1, the point is clearing the space for the bishop and also playing knight to g3. This is coming. And this is all for maneuvering purposes. As you can see, the pieces for white are getting to where they want to be. I need a rook over here on e2 and double my rooks. That's all good. Don't rush it. Don't get fancy. That's what my dad said. Bishop d2. He's like, okay, fine. Now, technically, he's threatening my b pawn. If I play b3, question mark, knight takes bishop, rook takes knight, and then rook takes c3. With the g6 pawn, I don't have bishop takes h7 check, winning the rook. So, okay, I wanted to test him and see if he wanted to play it. He did. I'll just go back. It's no problem. He goes to d6. So he has gotten his own free move out of this combo. Like, great. I'm going to go back and see what you're going to do. He wants rook to e8. Great. I want to double rooks. He comes back. Now my bishop is where it needs to be, guarding the b2 pawn. I can play b3 in the future whenever it's beneficial to me. But every other piece, my bishop is guarding, so he's got a job. Every piece has a job here. And this is really lining up great. Taking some space on the queen side, a good idea. There's b3. So there you go. King g2, good. King h1 is the best move. And it will become apparent later. I'll show you. Now we reach this critical position, and it's like, well, what are you going to do, Bobby Fischer? Well, the answer is f5, as if Bobby Fischer was playing himself. The key point of this is that now this pawn is attacked 4 times, but it's defended 4 times. I got knight, queen, and bishop and pawn. He's got knight, bishop, pawn, and pawn. But the key point is the sword of Damocles on c1 is going to make it to h6. So he takes, now this is a blitz game, which is why there's some slight inaccuracies here. Here, bishop takes f5 is the crushing move. But normally, white does not want to trade off the light-squared bishop. But in this case, that's the move to play because of bishop to h6. I played the sequence less than perfect, but it's still good. I achieved my strategic goal, but I just didn't play the most tactically accurate sequence because it's a blitz game. Hey, there's always room for improvement, right? So bishop h6, and I saw it. I'm like, oh, moron. He's going to play queen g6. That's okay. He wins my bishop, I win his bishop. Instead of me just winning the exchange. Oops. So, and I made another minor slip. He should have played bishop. He could play bishop. If he plays bishop to d6, I have bishop f4. I'm still good because I've crushed his structure. My pawn sacrifice has crushed his structure, and that's fine. But technically, king h1 is better. Again, twice I had a chance to play king h1 and failed. It's all right. Slam, bang. I considered briefly the correct move, which is rook 1 to e2, but I was thinking I was going to win this easily anyway, and I wanted to simplify matters. So I said I'll just trade queens with him and win in the endgame. And now I did win in the endgame because black's been under the pressure of the sword of Damocles the entire game, and he's been struggling to find moves, so it has a wearing effect on you in a game. But the computer says this is dead even, and I saw the moves, and I'm like, well, I can't argue with it. He makes the huge blunder. This is literally bad. But he's still hanging in there, but it's so difficult to find the right moves. Why does this say black is winning? You're not winning. Boom. All right. His structure is just garbage. Locking the pawns on the king side. And here's the crusher. Because of the Zuswang, I get to take on f5, and it's basically over. Now I'm going to go get his h-pawn, and there's nothing he can do. Because I have the winning distant passed pawn, which is the h-pawn. It's the furthest pawn from the rest of the world of pawns. So his king will be deflected away from the defensive f6. I'll take f6 and then Pac-Man the rest of his pawns. Check, you go there, king f5, just absolutely winning. This is the kind of move you have to know is winning to win games. You know, and that's the key thing. But let's go back to the key position. The key position of this game is the thing that you can't buy. Here, you know that you're on your game positionally when you realize you've been planning this whole thing out and it was just executed to perfection. Like these double pawns on e6 and g6 that attack f5 make it look like f5 is a terrible move. But this is just an absolutely phenomenal move. And here's the deal. When he takes, bishop takes is the right move. And this is where the crushing is occurring. Now, He can take with pawn or with bishop. It doesn't matter. Bishop is, the better move. But then we hit him with this move. And this was the strategic goal of the f5 pawn sacrifice. But in a blitz game under, super tight time, oops. So, I don't feel bad because I played the move that needed to be played. F5, is the signal move that lets you know it's like, dude, you're good when you play F5. That's not an obvious move at all. And that's what separates the men from the boys. I misplayed it slightly, but this was the position that I should have had. And he is in major league trouble. Now the computer says the best move here is a hard move to find, bishop to d7. And it says here he's like less than half of a pawn down after I take his rook. I can take it now or later. It doesn't really make much difference. So I wanted to show this to you, let you see what it's like to see this positional setup and building to this f5 pawn sacrifice that is a devastating type of a move. And it just has a psychological effect as well. So I want to thank you guys for watching this. Tell your friends. This will help them get better and let you know that you're on to something. So I look forward to seeing you guys again in another video. And as always, like and subscribe.